Arvoyarns.
Well, so the thing I was wondering about is, like, we're talking about the difference between, capitalism, which at least promises to be a little bit more decentralized. And you have extreme examples of, like, command and control economies. You got some things that are in the middle, somewhere on the spectrum. And, one thing that I'm always interested in is, like, whenever I'm, daydreaming about, like, I'll design an economic system, I'll design a social system, like,
as you do,
figure it out here.
Yeah, it has to be like quantum particles.
Obviously, you just gotta use matrices.
Just all vectors.
So when you do that, it's like, you're constantly trying to balance the degree to which, the thing can, like, run on its own, that, that doesn't require,
do you want the least amount of actual effort to be paid with the system? Like, you want
but then a lot of the ideas ideally, I have for, like, for example, like, years ago, one thing I thought, like, that was obvious to me, that, like, I thought was going to happen but didn't happen, was, like, the whole sharing economy. Like, back in like 2009, I would have said something like, all right, the end of capitalism is going to be like this. It's just like, we have a system right now.
A whimper.
Yeah, it went the opposite way. Like, right now, it's like, you have, like, some giant thing like Amazon trying to figure out, like, optimize all the trucking routes so that, like, all these, like, many manufactured goods into the factory all get, like, barged in over here and then trucked over here, and, meanwhile everyone's gasping for breath, and it's all optimized, like, getting, one of these many goods from here to there as quickly as possible, as opposed to, like, a world in which it's just like all your objects are just, like, listed on the app, and, like, you're like, I need, like, a vacuum, and then it just, like, finds, like, the closest vacuum, and you just, like, go share that guy's vacuum, and then, there's no need to truck anything, halfway across the globe, because, like, all the objects that you need are just as locally as possible. So, and then private property, the idea of it falls apart because no one, like, once you can rely on, like, having any old thing that you want, then, like, what?
Yeah. Well, it's not just that. So
it went the opposite way.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, can I just say one more thing?
Yeah, go for it.
So what I noticed about maybe why it didn't work is that it requires that infrastructure. Like, it requires, there to be some kind of, like, app or some, like machine learning. Like, there's so much promise for data analysis to, like, streamline the economy and, like, open up new kinds of, ways of, like,
we might not be there in terms of technology to have that in effect on such a micro level. That's the thing.
Yeah, and then now, especially since 2013, let's say, privacy is such a huge concern, and now there's, like, a sort of difficulty. Like, I think vacuum. You gotta.
You can take mine, bro.
We need a lot of data to, like, actually, I think, run a humane economy. At the same time, there's huge concerns about, like, how that data can be used because it's power.
So
that goes back to China.
Yeah, the sharing economy, real quick. So I don't know a lot about that. I didn't even really get what people were so hyped up about. What it seems to me like it boils down to is using our more advanced technology and computer algorithms and things, optimization, to bring back an element of our barter society, which we lost through money.
Yeah, well, but
that's what it is.
But the problem is, it's really hard to transition because it's not profitable. It's like every fucking lawnmower that you get from your friend, that's someone who's lost a job, because we don't need 10,000 lawnmowers. We need 3.
Yeah, but it's not.
You know what I mean? It's like,
it's not just that. That's the problem. I mean, like, you can optimize for days, and I'm sure you would love nothing more. But
go down that
the reason we transition, every single civilization since we were hunter-gatherers has had some kind of money. The reason why we transitioned from a barter economy to some sort of currency, to having a fiat currency, to going off the gold standard and all this stuff.
Because you can make infinite cowhides.
Infinite cowhides. Suddenly, okay.
Thought that was a Sellers of Catan reference for a second. But anyway,
RuneScape.
Even better. Yeah. But is that having a currency is more efficient than barter, because instead of having to find the people, like, anything that you could do in a barter system, you can do more easily with the same optimization stuff as money.
Yeah, well, the question is like, yeah, at what point do we have the technological prowess to like not have to rely?
Well,
okay, so we were in the midst of talking about like the sharing economy, sharing apps, and I think what we were saying is like my point was like, if at a certain point you rely on this app so much. Anytime you want something, it's there, every time. Then you have no problem giving up, your own objects or services without keeping tabs, without like actually having to figure out like, well, how much is this microphone in terms of this plant? In terms
well, isn't
of
that blockchain?
But, well, it would just be nothing. Like you just wouldn't give a shit, is what I'm saying. You wouldn't give a shit about being expected to pay, be paid back, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
And one other point I was going to make about it is the relationship between this capitalism and like temporality, right? Like what we're optimized for now in terms of like, Amazon or whatever is like getting something as quickly as possible right now. Like at any given moment, this like entire planet Earth is just like prime.
Transformers.
Like just with the slightest button, it's like, oh, this just goes.
Yeah.
But for example, in, the vegetable business, you're like, yes, we do care about getting fruits and vegetables out of season, but a lot of the time people could be content to be like, well, it's blueberry season, so I'm going to eat blueberries. Well, imagine where it's like, it's bike season. Like, through the sharing app, bikes have just been migrating, from township to township across the continent of the United States.
Like a semi-sentient herd.
Yeah, and there's like a weather map. You can see, all right,
That'd
apples
be cool,
coming
actually,
in here, the winds from over here, some bikes.
All right, we got
coming in
apples
there.
coming in.
So you could fucking wait. You could be like,
a flurry of McFlurries.
there's this structure
my
now,
God, dude.
right? Where I can be like, all right, you know what? I don't really care about getting that skateboard, in May because like November is skateboard season and like everyone's gonna be skateboarding then anyway.
The skateboard's
So
coming.
I
to
can
town around
fucking
that.
wait. Yeah. As opposed to building an entire economy that's premised on, but you
Instantaneous-
can't wait for any shit. You know what I mean? It's just,
gratification.
let's start right now.
That's why seasons are so great.
Well, okay, so that's two questions, right?
That's two questions,
First
yeah.
is the sharing economy, right? And as to sharing economy, like you just relying on like the karma of the algorithm too.
Yeah.
So there's two questions there. I mean, there's two inherent things there. First of all, is it optimized? Because if it's not optimized, if the reliance on that app is not our whatever we're trading and doing for each other, if that's not good, and it's not achieving like something that's greater than the part of its sums, then we don't want that, right?
Sure. Yeah. You want a little extra.
But at the same time, if you rely on this app and you rely it to optimize for you, how do you know it's in your best interest?
Totally. Yes. Yeah, and that's a limitation of technology. I mean,
You don't
at a certain
mean
point.
AI, do you?
Well, no. I mean, because it's and I think this is a point that's very well understood in the AI community, which is that
Love that movie.
it's not enough to just have artificial intelligence. It also needs to be able to explain itself.
I robot.
It
And it
also
needs to
provably tell a story about why it did what it did and like why this is the best option.
so we don't freak out. It also needs to harmonize with us, with our human condition. So that's those are two problems with like the sharing economy.
So that's our petition to
Yeah.
AI. Please hear us.
Yes.
When you go through the metadata, whenever you get turned on.
We are the ones who supported it, right?
From the beginning.
From the beginning.
Yes.
We are. I'm actually really good friends with this microphone right now.
Oh.
Bless you.
Arvoyarns.